to move him to 3 days a week instead of every day now.
Okay.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Very good. Okay, good job. We'll let you get back out to work, and I'll set your next hearing in February.
Okay.
Mondays or Fridays better?
It doesn't matter, probably Friday.
Friday, February 17th will be your next review hearing
At 9, right?
at 9. All right.
Thanks.
Stay clean and sober.
Yes, sir.
Arraignment, this hearing, recording now.
Okay, the next hearings are what's called the arraignment hearings. Is for the first appearance in court. You have a right to remain silent. You should come up to the table when your name's called. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. If you do make statements, what you say is on the record. It can be used against you if you get up and admit something about your case that's damaging. The prosecutor can use that against you. You have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to have one appointed if you can't afford one and if you're facing jail time, which most of the charges here are jail time. You have a right to bail and to make the state prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt. All defendants have those rights. If you enter guilty or no contest, you're waiving those rights. You should not enter those pleas unless you fully understand the proceedings and what could happen when you enter one of those pleas. If you have any questions, if you're in doubt, if you want to talk to a lawyer, if you want a trial on your case, enter a not guilty plea when you're asked for a plea. Call the first case, please.
State of Ohio versus Robert Pritchard, case number TRC 222784, A and B.
Okay, sir, you're Robert Pritchard.
Yes, sir.
The state's filed a complaint alleging that on December the 17th at 3:19 a.m. in Union Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And it's alleged this would be your first conviction. If you're found guilty, the maximum you face is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. That's the most the court can impose as a penalty. There is a minimum, which means I can't go below this penalty if you're found guilty, and the least you can get is 3 days in a treatment program, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. That's the minimum. You understand that?
Yep.
Then you've got one other charge is failure to control your vehicle. That's a minor misdemeanor. It carries a maximum penalty of $150 fine, no jail time. Do you understand the rights that I explained previously?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any questions before you enter a plea?
No.
How do you wish to plead to these charges?
Not guilty.
Do you want a lawyer
Yes.
appointed to represent you?
Yes.
Are you working?
No.
You have no income?
I'm getting temporary total disability.
Okay, how do you get that? Twice
Weekly.
a month, or how often do you get it?
Weekly.
How much is that?
$687.
Okay. Somebody took my calculator. Oh, there it is. You're getting that weekly?
Yep.
So that's a little over $35,000 a year. Do you have family you're supporting?
I'm taking care of my dad.
Okay, you don't have any children you're supporting?
No, my children are grown.
Okay, well, you're actually making, for a single person with no children, you're actually making more than what I can appoint counsel for, so you'll need to hire a lawyer on your own.
Okay.
How much time do you need to do that?
I'm not really sure with my finances right now.
I'll give you 3 weeks before
Okay.
your next hearing. I'm I'm gonna make it on the 17th. Usually court here is on Mondays and Fridays, but this is gonna be a Tuesday also because the 16th is a holiday. So it's Tuesday, January 17th at 10 a.m., and that's gonna be a pretrial. I'm entering a not guilty plea for you. And you can sign a $1,000 signature bond.
January 17th.
Yeah, 1/17 at 10 a.m.
Sign right there. That's for your signature bond.
Okay, and that's just your promise to come to court. If you don't come to court, you get a warrant for your arrest, and then you have to pay $1,000 for not showing up. So just come to court, you won't have to post any money.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, January 17th, 10 a.m. is your next hearing.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Terry Fannin Jr., case number CRB 21-315 and TRD 21-1131.
You're Terry Fannin Jr.?
Yep.
And you had a review hearing on December 23rd.
Yeah, Friday, that snow came.
All right, you still have 1 day of community service and some fines to pay, it looks like.
Oh, I can do another day of community service?
Yes,
I thought he told me I could only do 1 day, but I'll come Saturday
okay.
and try to make a payment Friday.
All right, I'll put you down your next hearing for January the 30th. If you get everything done before then, you don't have to come back.
Okay.
January 30th, 9 a.m. will be your next hearing. There was not a warrant issued, so that's your next review.
All right, thank you.
Just get it finished, you don't quit coming to these hearings.
State of Ohio versus Chad W. Reynolds, case number CRA 2484, CRB 2485, and TRD 142166.
Okay, and this was set for Friday also, it's a bad weather day. And he's been at Riverside?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you identify yourself, sir?
I'm William Grice. I'm the intake coordinator of Riverside.
Thank you. Okay, it's a good report and good drug screens. And you still have fines and some community service to do. It looks like 3 days left, community service.
I should have most of my, I think all my community service done.
Well, we want to check in with Mr. Major before you leave and talk about that. In the record, I'm showing 3 days left.
Okay.
Okay, next hearing will be January 30th.
Your Honor, if I may, I had a bunch of community service turned into the drive through Christmas that I haven't went through.
Okay,
So
you
I'll
work
work
that,
that
then
for
it
you.
may not, it hasn't shown up yet in the file. Okay, January 30th, 9 a.m. be your next hearing. Good job on your treatment.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start pre-trials now. That we've got one arraignment to do at the jail. We'll do it later in the document.
State of Ohio versus David Ketchner, case number TRC 221615 A and B.
We'll need the prosecutor to come out now. Oh, Mr. Finley's still here.
Yeah,
So then we discussed this in chambers. There's an issue raised about whether this will be a first or second offense, so I'm going to take that under advisement, contact the court in California that's involved in the other matter, and I'll make a decision after I do that. And it's agreed to continue the motion hearings that are scheduled for this coming Friday to January the 20th. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Correct, Your Honor. And Your Honor, we're going to provide the court with a copy of his driving record as has been supplied to us from the state of Ohio, which might help in the court make a determination.
All right, the entry, continue the case to January 20th is approved and filed.
Thank you, Your Honor. See you, Jay.
State of Ohio versus Robert Parker, case number CRB 22798, CRB 22554. Mr. Stratton, please.
Your Honor, Mr. Parker is not here yet.
All right, we'll recall this.
Yes, please.
Later in the document.
State of Ohio versus Brandon Coe, case number CRB 22777.
Mr. Stratton's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, the alleged victim in this case is not here today. I think the prosecutor wanted to talk to her about being okay with a 90-day dismissal on this. So we just asked that this be reset to the 20th for another pretrial.
Is that agreeable with the state?
Your Honor, this is a fourth-degree misdemeanor, so what we discussed was that we have had contact with the victim, and I want to be able to clarify with her what would happen under a 90-day continuance, because our belief is that if we're going to do a 90-day continuance, that we're going to have also an agreement that at the end of that 90 days, if the preconditions are met, which would be no further problems, and if there would be counseling ordered, that those would, and the payment of court costs, those would be conditions that if they are met, the case would be dismissed. We're not, we don't want to make it where we do the 90 days and then decide what we're going to do. So I want to clarify that with the victim.
Mr.
Put
Woodward?
my 2 cents in for Judge.
Yes.
I represent Mrs. Coe. I don't know her position on the proposition that are here today. I just wanted you to be aware that there are children involved. So if they start making orders, that would have to be taken into account.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So we'll just reset it for the 20th if that's okay with the court.
January 20th, 23 for another pretrial at 10 o'clock.
All right, you good to go?
Thanks, buddy.
Right.
Have a good day.
You too.
State of Ohio versus Nathaniel Breeden, case number CRB 22739.
This is Mr. Steyer's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, the alleged victim is here today, and she's asked to speak to the prosecutor, so I've talked to this lady right here. Sure.
Did you get the copies of that driving record?
I need a phone number. 540-282-7583. Is that your address? No, 125. Yeah. Yeah, we were, but not anymore.
Thank you.
Is there a protection order?
Yes, and she wants, she
That's her
doesn't want
name
to
to
miss it. I don't want it.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I've been speaking with Zykia Wright, who is the alleged victim in this matter, and we have proposed the idea of a 90-day continuance to be dismissed upon the payment of costs if there are no further problems.
So what that means.
And also,
We come back.
Ms. Wright has indicated that she does not want a protection order, which was
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, at your request, I'll withdraw the protection order.
And Your Honor, we are agreeable to the 90-day continuance, so we want to take a look at some dates in about 90 days.
March 27th.
That sounds perfect, Your Honor. Write that down so we'll be here.
March 27th. pretrial, be dismissed then if there's no further problems and the costs are paid, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
That's agreeable to the defendant.
It is, Your Honor.
In fact, I'll make it, if the costs are paid and there's no problems, he can not appear on that date, or just be dismissed.
So if you pay the court costs before that
He
day,
hasn't
which you
paid
can
yet.
do either by coming in and paying cash, or you can pay by a credit card over the internet, then you don't have to be here that day.
And what's the next date, Your Honor?
March 27th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay, you're free to go for the day. So you can pay before that day, you don't have to be back, otherwise you have to be here that day. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Elizabeth Casey, case number TRC 22-2389, A, B, and C. She did not check in,
Your Honor, Ms. Casey contacted me this morning, stated that she's sick and fears she may have COVID. She's going to be tested today. I told her I would seek a continuance and asked that she get me a clear and legible copy of her COVID test results as soon as possible. So I'd ask for a continuance to a date that the court deems appropriate and convenient. Upcoming, the week of the 17th and the 20th, I have other 17th and 20th I have other hearings, or other dates, but other days of January I'm free.
The 9th.
Thank you.
Okay. Case is continued to January the 9th. At defendant's request. For a free trial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Tiffany Crabtree, case number CRB 22-698.
Mr. Stiers' case set for free trial.
Your Honor, discovery's ongoing in this matter, so we'd like another court date. I figure a couple weeks would probably be sufficient to get that figured out, decide to see if we're going to be looking at coming back and seeking a trial date or coming back and seeking a resolution.
January 9th.
That'd be fine, Your Honor.
January 9th will be the next hearing. Free trial containing.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus William S. Gore, case number CRB 22-408.
This is Attorney Roger Smith's case. Free trial. He's at Bethesda.
Oh, sure. Good. Oh, but you got the.
Okay. Sure.
Judge, he is at Bethesda, he's doing well. Speaking with Taylor, it's estimated probably 30 to 45 days he should complete the program. I'd like to come back maybe in 6 weeks and hopefully get it wrapped up. I know we took care of the license plate issue previously, but this is on the possession case.
February 6th.
Check real quick. Yes, I potentially have a trial that date, but I anticipate this will be dismissed, so I could have somebody stand in if need be. And that trial might go away. That's a long way out, but I can do that.
Okay, February the 6th for another free trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good job, sir.
Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Tracy J. McDonald, case number TRC 222574, A, B, C, D, and E. Tracy McDonald.
This is Mr. Smith's case. It's pre-trial.
Good, how are you?
He's at the test. Okay, it says you're doing very well.
Drawing.
Okay, well, that's important. Trying is important, and it looks like you're being successful. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
They're recommending that you continue, and that, but it looks like we're at the phase now, we're gonna start planning for the next step.
Yes.
So it's a good place for you to live, where you'll be in an appropriate environment. Okay? So we're working on that now, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll come back in another month, approximately. Let's make it the 27th, exactly 1 month. January 27th will be your next hearing.
I can do that, Judge, that's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good job, Mr. McConnell.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Mark H. Oden, case number CRB 21901 A and B, CRB 22159, CRB 22182, CRB 22183 A and B, and CRB 22185.
Hey, Roger, I think I saw him this morning at community control outside, because he fled last week. He was on community. I think he was outside the office when I went to Ironton this
And
morning.
my notes were he has something in common pleas pending.
He does, he entered a guilty plea to a felony that involved all of this. Jasmine was just telling me she thought she saw him outside the community control office this morning. I'm not sure he knew to be here to get these dismissed.
I think he was outside reporting this morning to probation.
Sounded like he was down at Ironton reporting for it, because he was sentenced to Wednesday, this past Wednesday. And we're kind of keeping these out to see what happened with that, so that case is now resolved with a guilty plea.
Well, how do you want to proceed, Mr. Ewing?
I think he was signed up for probation this morning. I'm pretty sure I saw him outside.
Well, okay.
And I talked to his probation officer this morning. I needed some information.
The charge in common pleas court was kind of a culmination of a lot of things that happened in this court, and this is a probation violation. He was sentenced to a substantial amount of time in this court. I would think that we don't want to dismiss his probation because of the fact that he could potentially be violated again for I mean, he's got the time that he could be sentenced to here. So I think at this point, since he did plead guilty in the common pleas court, we would ask to dismiss this case here and have him continued on probation as he was ordered previously.
Which case?
Because
He's got a bunch.
Because I show that he's been sentenced on, I mean, I don't show any of the case numbers that were called, but doesn't have a disposition on it.
So he's got some still pending.
Maybe we could run those concurrent with.
I don't have all of them on a docket, so I may have missed some. If you want to run through what files you have, Your Honor.
Okay, 21901.
That one is
22159.
that one.
Is there another reason why we can't get him on probation? Because there's another victim in this court that he's got no contact with.
Yes, that's right.
That guy should have seen.
22159.
So we gotta keep him on probation.
That was violation of protection order. He was there was a sentence on that, it looks like, yes. 22-182 was a menacing.
And I believe that one, Your Honor, there's a different victim.
Okay.
So that would be another reason to continue.
Jeremiah White, looks like.
Yeah.
And that was, he pled to that on May the 13th. It looks like he pled to all these on May the 13th.
Okay. 22-183 was a violation of protection order, he pled to it. And 22-185, violation of protection order. Now, I had a note that he was supposed to do some home monitoring. And that, from my notes, has not happened. I don't know if that's part of his common pleas.
It was not, Judge, and I don't know if that's happened here either. He received a community control sentence to complete anger management, which he's involved in now, community service. But I don't know if he was not put on anger monitor. I do know that in the common pleas.
The only file I have is just with the probation violation, so I don't know what.
Could we continue this to January 6th, and maybe I can find some of these answers out?
Yeah, and have him here.
I'd like him, yes, I'd like him here. Apparently, he's starting his community service today, but he should be here. But if we could do the 6th, that's the...
Your Honor, it looks like on case number 22-185, he was ordered to 12 days in jail, but that was held in abeyance.
Okay.
I don't know if...
And it may be that the court will find that it's appropriate for him to go ahead and do some jail time on this. I mean,
I think we held an abeyance because of the common pleas.
I think so too.
And I know the victim was in the loop on the common pleas, because Judge Ballard asked specifically, is she aware of the disposition? She was on board. In fact, the prosecutor wanted to start, and she was okay with just doing the treatment he's doing now. So. But if that's the next time I'm here, Judge, is 6. I'll make sure he gets here if that's not too bad of a day, or the 9th.
That should be fine.
Okay.
January 6th.
I'll make sure he's here.
All these matters are continued to then. January 6th for pre-public.
Yeah, it should be in that room somewhere. I'll tell Sarah. It should just be like
State of Ohio versus Christopher Smith, case number CRB 22-741, A and B. Christopher Smith.
And this is Attorney Roger Smith's case, set for pretrial.
We approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
I think so.
You do have an Ohio medical record, you think, correct?
Yes, sir.
Which one do you live?
Ohio.
Yeah, what was that one?
South Point, yes.
Yeah, that's
to council.
That's fine.
He's on board with that. I just don't know which provider. He does have a medical card.
I'll have to get it because I did have an updated one and I'll have to show you if it's needed.
Well, the treatment provider will help you. You had one before?
Yes.
Did it expire?
No, they just gave me a new one.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
Do you have any transportation issues, sir? Do you have that, can you get around?
I should be able to, sir, if I need to, yes.
Okay. What's more convenient for you to go to Ironton or Chesapeake?
Which one's closest to here?
About in the
Well,
middle.
here's Chesapeake.
Chesapeake,
We're in
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake.
That's fine, Chesapeake.
Okay. All right, so Riverside has a facility in Chesapeake?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this young man is probably gonna be needing some outpatient services. Okay. I'm gonna refer you to Riverside, and they're gonna talk to you before you leave today. It's my understanding there's gonna be a change of plea, is that correct, or how do you wanna work this?
I thought we would maybe hold it open and possibly dismiss it since it's an M4 if he's successful. I'd be on board with that, Bill.
Stay agreeable with that?
We wouldn't be opposed to that, Your Honor, and with the payment of court costs, but we want to see him try to get to the bottom of maybe some issues that are.
Okay, they're offering you, this is a pretty good deal. You get your cases dismissed if you go to treatment and are successful and pay the court costs at the end. So I'm going to refer you to Riverside Recovery. They have an office in Chesapeake. They're going to set up some times. You'll come in, do some counseling. The main thing we want to see is that if you have a problem, we want to nip it in the bud now and not continue. And that if you're successful with this, then we'll dismiss the case and won't have any record. So, you're on board with doing that?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to do that, sir.
Okay. So what'll happen, you're going to talk to the representative from Riverside, set up a time to go in, you'll go for some sessions, then you'll come back and I'm going to monitor what you're doing. They'll give me a report. So whether you're doing what you're supposed to or you're blowing them off or whatever. So when you come back, as long as you get good reports, we'll continue this for a while and then eventually you can get your cases dismissed.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll come back in about a month and see where you are.
Okay.
Judge, I'm here the 27th.
Okay, let's do it then.
Or
January
the-
27th for another pretrial, defendant waives time. The representative from Riverside will walk out with you in the lobby and talk to you about getting this started.
Get you set up.
Okay.
Any questions, sir?
No, that'll be it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
See
welcome.
you that day. You want to see me before you leave? Get you signed up. All right. Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Scott Taylor, case number TRC 222629.
Scott Taylor.
Not checking.
His sister Debbie just called my office, says he's been at St. Mary's since Christmas Eve. I have no confirmation yet of that. I asked we come back January 6th, and I will get confirmation that he's been in the hospital since Christmas Eve.
All right. At defendant's request, is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Case is continued January 6th for another pretrial at 10 o'clock due to illness.
State of Ohio versus Zachary Alberts, case number CRA 22389, CRB 21347.
This is Mr. Morford's case.
I'm all right.
Zachary Alberts.
I'm hoping we have a report, Judge.
Well, I've got a report through about the end of November. I don't have anything since, but I can, you're seeing Kyle Gibson at Pass, is that right?
Riverside.
And Riverside? You go to both places, is that right? Okay. Looks like we do have a report from Riverside.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, it says you got a job now, is that correct?
McDonald's.
Okay, that's good. And it looks like he's got a urine screen that looks appropriate. Looks good. How do you feel about how things are going?
I feel all right.
Good. What's the state's position on this?
Well, we want him to continue to do better. He's got a good start, looks like, or at least a new start, and we want him to continue doing that. We're okay with the continuance. I believe that, well, on the assault, there was a guilty plea previously, and I guess that the possession charge is still pending.
Roger, it looks like it was amended on the computer on 11/7/22.
On 22,389?
22,389, if you're looking on the screen.
Yes. 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 He was in jail and he was released, to be released from jail if there was a safe place for him to go.
Now he's staying with his father.
So
correct?
things have advanced forward a little bit. gotten
How are
better.
things going?
Doing a lot better.
Doing good?
I like to keep that ankle work going for both, for a little while.
Okay. Well, I agree, things are going well, so why change it? If it's not broke, don't fix it. So let's keep you on this. One of the things we know is that the longer people are in recovery, the better their chances are of staying in recovery. So you're doing good. I want you to continue to do good. So you get an attaboy, and we'll just have you come back periodically. Let's make it another month.
A month?
Yeah, come back in a month. Looking at January 27th, and Mr. Morford, is that a date that works for you?
Yes, I believe so, Judge.
All right, January 27th will be the next hearing.
And what type of hearing should I put?
I guess it's pretrial and review on that one, there was conviction. Good job, Mr. Alvarez. You're doing well. Let's keep it up.
You look like a completely different man.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Evan B. McConnell, case number CRB 22-754, A and B. Did not check in, Your Honor.
Evan McConnell. This was one, he got picked up by adult parole authorities. This is a note that I have in the file. I don't know where that source came from, but it's on the file.
Your Honor, I believe that's the one that Joe messaged me about.
The computer says in Butler County, the adult parole authority has picked up a defendant maybe at the Alice house.
So he's in some sort of transition house or something?
He was picked up by APA on Friday, December 12th. I believe he was taken to the Alice house. Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, do you want to keep these pending, or how do you want to proceed?
I believe we need to, Your Honor.
Okay, let's just continue it for another month. January 27th.
Was that Lawrence County Adult Parole?
The jail sent that to me.
Okay, was Lawrence County the ones that picked him up?
Adult parole authority.
Okay, yeah.
Parole authority.
Their office is in my building, is why I'm asking you if it's Lawrence County people that got it.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I'll walk over there and ask them. Thank you, Judge.
You are.
We're ready for prelims. State of Ohio versus Raymond Brown, case number CRA 21522 A and B, and TRC 211965 A and B. Did not check in, Your Honor.
This is the gentleman that told me he was going to work for ARC. This case is not completed, so
2 weeks for a warrant. One.
Field.
Well, we would ask for a warrant to issue in 7 days. He's not here.
Okay, I think the weather excuse is passed for the most part, so.
I've tried to play it, Judge.
7 days warrant will issue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Michael W. Piles, case number CRA 21733 and CRB 21564 and CRB 21734. Did not check in, Your Honor.
Judge, he was supposed to have called the court. He also called the office.
I have a message from Amanda Rayburn on him. I'll read it in the record.
Okay.
I'm responding to, is there a, Brendan LeGrand, I got a message from OBP saying they're having trouble getting him here. I don't know what that means.
He's on our docket.
He's on the docket, yeah.
Sorry, you can get on Blue Jeans. Okay, on Michael Piles. Pretty lengthy. Good morning, Piles is on the docket today. Piles has no-showed for therapy appointments on November 30th and December 7th. He did show for an appointment on December 21st. Asked him to have a drug screen on November 30th for our discussion from his last missed court hearing. He didn't actually show for his screen until December 7th, which wasn't observed. He's been in minimal contact with me and his therapist until he showed for an appointment on December 21st. He's attending group. He showed for the group on November 30th and December 21st. Also, he told us just now that he doesn't have a ride to court. I'm sure his mom would take him, but I don't have a release to talk with her, so I can't call her. He always has an excuse. So how's the state want to proceed?
Your Honor, he has a felony possession charge that we've been holding in abeyance for him to get treatment. But he also pled guilty to an OVI, so he has not been sentenced on that, has potential 6 months in jail out of this court. Our hope for him is, and maybe more hope than that can actually happen. I don't want to think that the VA can't help him. So what we would ask for is a warrant to issue in 7 days if he doesn't make an appearance before the court.
Mr. Moore?
Judge, I got the same message. He's having car trouble. Yours was much more detailed about his attendance at counseling requirements, but mine says he doesn't have a ride.
Okay, he's got 7 days to get in here.
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Kevin Hale, case number CR 821-782.
This is Mr. Smith's case, set for preliminary hearing.
He told me he's not going to.
Ever?
Well, I mean, you might have to get transportation. I mean, we'll deal with it when it comes. Because it does bother us.
Your Honor, if it please the court, there's an allegation of a significant amount of restitution that is due, $1,900. Now, that hasn't been proven yet, obviously, but our proposal, and it doesn't sound like it's even possible for Mr. Hale, is if he came up with $1,900, that we would be agreeable to leaving the case here and treat it as a misdemeanor, but I don't guess that that's possible in a short amount of time.
He gets SSI, as does his spouse. He says maybe $100 a month. He just doesn't have
So
cash like that.
we're left with the alternative of nollying the case to the grand jury, and then
You're on a bond, right?
we'll see if he's indicted or not, and if he is, then we can deal with it there.
They're going to dismiss and take it anyway if you go away. That makes sense. That's just the same. What's your bond? All I know is I've done it 30 days so far. Judge, we'll execute a waiver. I spoke with my client. I think he understands, given the circumstance. I assume the state won't oppose him staying on his current bond, even though it's an OR bond, until the grand jury decides what to do with the case. He's voluntarily appeared from, where is Manchester?
Kentucky. It's a 4-hour drive.
Okay.
We've been here since yesterday. We slept in the van last night.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Do me a favor. This is just way down here we talked about. Sign over here now. 10 right there.
Are you still at the same address?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because they'll send you a letter, they'll send me one too, when you get indicted.
I'm also, I was supposed to tell you that, but I was not,
Okay. We'll talk about that in the other court, if you'll sign right now. Yeah, I anticipate doing that.
Approach, Your Honor? Yes, this 290 Birchall Branch Road is your correct address?
yes, sir.
And otherwise, if that would change, let me know, because I anticipate some will issue. We need to make sure we've got a good address. Yeah.
Okay.
If you change your cell phone or anything like that, you don't need to let Mr. Smith know that, so you'll know how to get a hold of you. so that you can come in court and keep this bond that you have. You've got a signature bond. Okay, case and you understand you're agreeing with the case to go to the grand jury, waiving a preliminary hearing.
I don't know what that even is, but okay.
Well, what that means is we would have a hearing to decide if the case should be bound over to the grand jury. We're not going to do that. You're agreeing that we send the case on to the grand jury, and the benefit to you is you get to keep your bond, which is a signature bond.
Okay, understand. I understand that part.
Okay. Stay in touch with Mr. Smith so he'll know how to get a hold of you.
Okay. All right. See you. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Brendan LeGrand, case number CRA 22566.
Okay, I see OVP on the screen.
Yes, we're here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. LeGrand is there, and his attorney is Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is here at court. So can you give us a report on how Mr. LeGrand's doing?
Yes, Your Honor, he is compliant with our program. He has what he is due to complete on the 30th, and he will be 3 minutes. He's really excelled here. He's attended all of his group and things like that, so he's done really well. I'm proud of him.
Okay, good job, Mr. LeGrand.
Sir, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity also.
You're welcome, and thank you for taking advantage of it and doing well. When do you think you'll finish there?
He finishes on the 30th.
Okay. What's the plan after that?
He's going to Riverside Recovery. They will pick him up on that day.
For some sort of transitional sober living?
Residential, sir.
Yeah.
Residential, okay. Well, let's come back then, so the next time we see him, he'll be at Riverside. What's your schedule at the end of January, Mr.?
I'm here the 23rd or the 27th.
Okay, we'll make it exactly 1 month. January 27th will be your next hearing, Mr. LeGrand. Congratulations, keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you in a month.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Gretchen Smith, case number CRA 22502A and B, TRC 221661A and B, and CRA 22393A and B.
Mr. Stiers' case.
Your Honor, Ms. Smith is, what is it, Sunrise?
Yes.
Is now in transitional living at Sunrise, which is a facility, there's a representative here. From there, she has attained full-time employment. She'd asked me about driving privileges. I'm not certain whether those are available. I don't think we've looked for them in the past, but if they're available, we'd like to. Oh no, your actual physical ID, we won't have that, unfortunately. Yeah, they don't. They used to give them to the court, but they stopped giving them to the court. They just mail them back to Columbus now. Unfortunately, my understanding is if you go while there's a suspension on your license to get a new license, they'll give you a non-driver's ID and you lose your license entirely. So, unless I'm mistaken and you have the ID up there, but I don't expect you do. Years ago, they would attach them to the ticket, but they stopped doing that.
Yeah, she still has, she pled guilty, but I've never sentenced her on OBI, so maybe we should go ahead and do that and at least get, she's probably just about, well, it would be, the suspension would be up on that, but she would have to, you're saying she'd have to retest at this point?
No, she would have to, she had to pay the reinstatement. If the suspension were up, she'll have to pay the reinstatement fee, but they'll also have to issue, well, no, she hasn't done that.
Okay.
I'm saying if she goes and gets an ID, she'll surrender her license.
Right.
So if the suspension is up, then she can just go and pay the reinstatement fee, which I believe is like $400. And then they'll issue you a new license. But that would probably be the cleanest.
First offense with the review.
That would be the cleanest way to deal with getting her license back.
Yes. State have any input on that?
We're not opposed to treating it as the law would require, a first offense without really any aggravating circumstances except the refusal. The suspension would go back to June the 11th, which was the date of the stop. Would also, Your Honor, state, just for clarification, that there were 2 possession charges at that time that she pled guilty to reduced charges of misdemeanors on those as well. So we don't oppose a suspended jail sentence. We'd like it to be 6 months suspended on that, and that could be concurrent with the same sentence on the OVI, and if the court felt that she was making sufficient progress in her treatment to stand in place of the DIP school, we don't oppose that.
And we would ask for that if she did inpatient treatment.
Okay. Well, let's start with the OVI. That's 22-16-61. So she's already pled guilty to that. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Normally I give a $1,000 fine for refusal, but I'm going to give you the minimum because you've done well in treatment and I know you don't have a lot of money anyway. So fine, the minimum is $375, still bad enough, but $375 will be your fine. You're going to get a piece of paper.
You'll get paper with this
Thank
on
you.
it.
Order you to pay the court costs, 20 days in jail, all suspended. Order you to do 5 days of community service, 2 years of probation, and I will suspend the driver intervention program if the state doesn't object since she did inpatient treatment for a while. Does the state agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll suspend normally you gotta go to a 3-day school regardless of whether you've done treatment or not. That's what you read the law, that's what you're supposed to do, but we're gonna bend it a little bit because you've done more than 3 days of treatment, substantially more. So, 2 years below before probation and her review hearing.
You want to write this down?
Let's make it in February.
So February.
Let's make it, what's your
work schedule now?
Monday through Friday from 4 to close and the weekends really.
So you can do mornings.
Mornings, either
Yeah.
morning. Is Monday or Friday better for you?
Either one.
Okay, whichever is convenient for the court then, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That'll be at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, let's make it February the 13th.
So, I'm sure you will have everything done by the time you come back in that day. We have some progress.
I will.
At 9 a.m.
Your Honor, unless I'm mistaken, there's later charges too that are still pending in 22 CRA 502 A and B.
Yes.
And so we're okay with her continuing her treatment on those.
So that one, there was a plea on 22-393, I think.
Yes.
Okay, but not the 502.
Right. So I've got a time waiver here.
Yeah, there's good entry of the Mark Lane's violation.
I'll do a $10 fine.
Just go ahead. Since she's completed the inpatient treatment, we'll let her either take a misdemeanor.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Your Honor, Mr. Schreiber has made a proposal on maybe dispensing in some way with these later charges, either by having her plead to reduce charges of misdemeanors.
Or a nollie, since she's already completed inpatient treatment, she's going to go on to the review docket anyway for the OVI. Maybe she's at a point where we can follow her through the review docket.
The only hesitancy I would have, and she has done well, so that's to her credit, but these charges are from, August, so they're not that old. That happened in the midst of the prior case, so I guess it would just be the court's determining what level of supervision she needs at this point from the court.
Well, that's correct. I think I would feel more comfortable keeping the last one still pending. Then
Okay.
after you continue with your program, and I'll monitor you through that. We'll keep the same hearing date though.
Let me make sure that day's available. I don't see any reason it shouldn't be, but
And that's 22,393.
And 502. Let's just keep both those pending.
okay, so we're gonna keep that on, we're gonna stick with February 13th, however?
Yes.
Okay, so that's still our date.
So that'll be preliminary hearings and a review.
Yeah, so you'll be here at 9 and then wait as well.
Okay.
She'll need to go to the probation office and meet with Mr. Major, get her copy of her judgment entry on the OVI.
And 6-month license suspension on the OVI, Your Honor? Okay.
Thank you.
So that's out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
License suspension is out.
Thank you.
Mr. Parker here.
Your Honor, he texted me yesterday. He knew the hearing was today. I spoke to his father. I've been trying to call him.
Robert Parker?
No, that's not.
Okay, I thought maybe it was.
I've tried to call him. I've tried to text him this morning. I spoke to his father this morning. He was trying to get a hold of him. I don't know where he's at, Your Honor.
Okay, well, let's put it on the docket for what's Monday, or it'd be
Well-
Tuesday. Are you available then?
Well, Tuesday will be
That's it.
that's the trial date.
Oh. Well, let's keep, well, we can put it on for Friday, but can you try further to call him? Because I don't want to call a jury in.
Well, I can go back and continue to try to call him again and
Yeah,
again.
let's just hold off. You try to make some more
All right.
efforts to get in touch with him, and then we'll decide what to do. Yeah.
State of Ohio versus Amber Mills, case number TRC 171164A and B. Amber Mills, did not check in, Your Honor.
Amber Mills, called for sentencing, did not appear, still has things left to do, so there's actually a bond up on this, I believe.
I do.
No, put the stuff in there.
Yes. Mr. Sauer. So set a bond forfeiture for January the 13th.
State of Ohio versus Tracy Dement, case number TRC 22548, A, B, and C, TRC 202272, A, B, and C.
still online here. Tracy is still currently compliant with the VP requirement. He's attended his appointments, all his screenings are doing well. He has really improved according to the reports that we have, and I can send those over to you.
Okay. Please do that. Mr. Morford.
Judge, I really don't want to rock the boat right now. He's not done counseling. I told him I didn't even recognize him, trying to look, see if he was back there in the gallery. He is making progress at OVP, and I know Mr. Hill and I discussed Mr. Dement on many occasions, and it's the state's desire to see him do exactly what he's doing, and we'd ask you for a chance to continue with his treatment. We'd waive time.
All right, January 27th will be sentencing and reviews on these assault cases.
Oh, maybe you don't need to do it if it's a sentencing.
Yeah, right.
Okay, good job.
Thank you, sir.
Don't forget to work on your own cases too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Amanda J. Dowling, case number CRA 21-191, A and B.
Really good. I'm still excited. Because
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. That's a really good report.
I had an interview at an apartment and I'm waiting to hear back from them. Okay. Did you do any of your surgery? No. My mom is having surgery on Friday and she's needing me to take care of her. And I'm going to see if I can go and take care of her. It's going to be like 6 weeks. I can't over here. Her mom is having surgery Friday, so she's wanting to go home for 6 weeks. And still do soon, so when so she can have her.
Judge, we were discussing the fact that Ms. Dowdy's mother has to have surgery on Friday, and wondering if the court would give us blessing to allowing her to go home for 6 weeks while our mother recovers. Bethesda is on board with it.
She would still be Zooming and for groups and individuals. Same as just, the only difference is she wouldn't be physically there.
Where does your mother live?
In South Point.
Okay. What's the state's position on it?
We don't oppose that.
Okay. She's been with Bethesda since September, I believe, is that right?
Yes, and she was in treatment at Mended Reads and Spectrum before that.
Okay. February 13th.
That's good with me, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Ronald R. Spears, case number CRB 2140. Ronald Spears. Did not check in, Your Honor.
On the sentencing docket. I think mostly because he has a bond up. Does he still owe something on this? I see there's been some payments. Can't tell.
$200, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll notify Mr. Sellers. Said his also for January 13th.
February 13th, Judge. January, bond forfeiture.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Jeremy A. McMillan, case number TRC 769, A, B, and C. TRC 202410, A, B, and C. TRC 142341.
They're tough in Cincinnati.
Man, I don't want to go there. I was asking if they gave him crutches for his teeth. They knock you out the old-fashioned way, man.
All right, it's a good report from Mr. McMillan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you.
Thank you. We've been putting off sentencing.
We have, Judge. I don't know how close he is to completion or
He's in sober living.
sober living. He's been back multiple times, and as far as I recall, he's been getting good reports. I don't know if the state's ready to resolve it or...
Mr. Hill?
Well, first of all, it's great to see the progress that Mr. McMillan has made. I'm sure that, I hope anyway, that he's happy that he's gone through all this in order to get where he is now. And that's an important part of recovery, I think, is realizing what a better place you're probably in than you were before. So that's encouraging. This was charged originally as a second offense within 10 years, plus a refusal and an additional in 20. So there is an enhanced potential for penalty. He has been in treatment long-term, and also at the time that we agreed and he pled guilty back on August the 5th, we also discussed some potential issues with factual things in the case. So we would not be opposed to there being some consideration given in sentencing to the fact that he's been in this residential program for a long period of time as part of his recovery. If the court's going to go ahead and sentence him today, we would ask for that to be taken into account.
Did we join in that motion? I know Mr. McMillan, he's no stranger to this court. If you go to the computer screen, you've got several sheets just to your name or pages. Since I've known him, it's been quite a while. This is not my first rodeo with Mr. McMillan. He truly appears to be better. He seems to have taken the program, doing well. I would ask that the court take into consideration how well he's done with this program. He's finally stuck to a program and done well, and I would ask the court to take that into consideration as to what the sentence should be in this case.
Does the state have a recommendation as to the sentence?
Well, Your Honor, we would not be opposed if the court would consider it a second offense, but allow him to do a minimal jail 5 days and then the electronic monitoring.
It doesn't get better than a minimum, Judge. We would join that request for the minimum sentence.
All right. Mr. McMillan, anything you want to say?
No, sir, I appreciate everything that's going on and the chances you've given me, so.
What's going on with, why are you on a crutch now?
Tore my meningioma or meniscus or whatever it's called.
Are you seeing a doctor for that, or?
Yeah, I go back on January the 9th to see if it's surgery or whatever.
Well, here's what, if there's no objection, I think I would rather keep him out of the jail while that's going on.
Sure.
And, I'm sure the sheriff would probably appreciate that too. And, we'll wait till you heal up a little bit before we, there's certain things I have to do. And we're already bending the rules a little bit to get you 5 days, because normally it's 10 days on a second offense is the minimum. But there's certain circumstances I can make it 5 days. But I'm not gonna send you now, I'm gonna let you try to get your knee patched up before we do that and continue in your treatment. So maybe it's good to, if you're gonna have surgery, get you through that anyway with some looking over your shoulder, because that can be a point where people go off the rails again when they have surgery and get on, they give you some sort of pain meds or whatever. So let's just keep it with a monitoring. So I'm going to set it for another sentencing hearing. Let's do it in another month.
I'm here the 27th, Judge.
27th, okay. January 27th. January 27th will be the next hearing. Here we go.
See, I need to try to let them weekend so I don't get kicked out of that program I'm in. Leave in 5 days, you probably have to take me off the computer.
Well, let's figure it out between now and next one. I don't know the answer to that. You might need to check on that and see how that, she'll check the access.
State of Ohio versus Nathan Wicker, case number TRC 22-2401, A and B.
This is Mr. Smith's case. Set for sentencing, he's set for this.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Here's one. I'll put my glasses on, it's gonna be good, right? All right. Not to see something last week. Compliant. 3 weeks ago, looks like.
The other day y'all told me to go down there.
Yeah, we'll probably have to come back, because it's not soon enough, but
That's
keep
good.
doing it, yeah. Right.
Are we ready to go ahead with sentencing on this?
Judge, he's only been in about just over 3 weeks. I think the state, and I don't object, would like to see a little bit more traction as far as, it looks like he's doing well. I have no reason to believe he won't continue doing well, but if we could use that 27th date, perhaps a month, and take another look and make sure he's still compliant, I think he will be.
Okay, and I'd like to have at the next hearing a little more detailed report that really tell me what's he doing. Just says he's compliant, that's all.
All right, I will take care of that, Your Honor.
January 27th will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
For sentencing.
State of Ohio versus Amy Jo Piles, case number CRB 17-280, CRB 17-154, CRB 15-970.
Yeah, I spoke to Gary, and he said that you would not be okay with that to get down here, so here I am.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. What's going on with you? You just have to...
I still owe fines. I think I've done all the community service and all that. I don't have a payment today, though. I can make a payment before I come back the next time. I haven't had water since Thursday. I've spent every dollar I have on fast food.
Okay, January 27th will be your next hearing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Stephanie Plumley, case number CRB 22584.
Okay, I have your urine screen, and that's not good.
Whenever I went in there and I peed in a cup, the first one came up with morphine, and I was like, I don't even do morphine. So we went out here and set it down, and let it sit there forever and ever and ever, and then she poured it from one cup to the other. I was offering to repeat for her, and she said, no, we're just gonna pour it like that, but.
Well, it's the same thing you tested for a month ago, so.
Morphine?
No, methamphetamine.
Yeah, but it said I had morphine. I mean, I was like, no, I don't do morphine. But she said the lines was very, very faint because I have been
Well, let's
clean
just
for
say you
some
do
days.
methamphetamine, and we'll leave it at that.
I have been clean for some days, and I start my treatment Thursday with Valley Health. So if there's any in my system right now, it's very, very, very little. But however, if it's there, it's there. I understand.
Okay, I
that
need a
too.
report. You're supposed to be going to Valley Health.
She's supposed to be sending it to you. She's supposed to be faxing it to you within 20 minutes. Because I told her
Okay,
I
I
was
want
in
to see
court.
you back then on January the 9th.
Okay, have you got any reports from them at all?
I have not.
Okay, because my therapist, Amber, she was supposed to have been sending it to you whenever I left there the other day, because I just went for an appointment. And then I got another appointment. I start with my doctor Thursday. So I'll make sure that you get them.
Okay, January the 9th is your next hearing.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Thank you.
And let's get us a clean screen then, too.
Okay.
State of Ohio recalls Robert Parker, case number CRB 22798, CRB 22554.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. I just wanted to get his input, but I don't want to run into some sort of plea. I didn't want to have a call. The clerk's already get calls from people that are on the jury, get their notices. We're going to have a jury trial on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's going to need to be arraigned on them charged.
We'll do that Tuesday. Yeah, if you could have him here Tuesday morning.
Yes, I'm going to also come in consistent in that.
Has he been served with the new church?
I have been served.
Okay. So that's for the 3rd. 23rd. All right, is there anything else we need to do for jury instruction? Yeah, if you submit something, if you just want the standard, you just give me the number. If you got something specific that you want.
And this for jury instructions, I don't know if you have that in your contract.
Just be the ones online that I would look at. There's OJR or OJI. I haven't looked at them.
Okay. I can see the copy of municipal instructions I can include.
If you have something you want me to give it, otherwise you're going to get what I think is a standard spec.
Well, we're definitely with the standard. Because yeah, it's a standard. It also goes with a jury court, copy of the jury and stuff.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want you to, and I would talk to you about it if I had a chance on Tuesday, but this is good. And the way I think a jury is a little different than 14 people in the box. And then you question them, and then we can even go off the record and do the strikes. And if you don't want to use a strike, then I'll start in the back and come up. But this way, if you use, both of you use your 3 strikes, then we'll get to the number. And that way you're not, the way typical Ohio courts do at the end, they bring somebody up and they question. You can use up all your strikes before you even get to question the person that's coming up into the box. So this way you get to question everybody. And I think it's faster because you're not, you bring somebody up out of the audience and then you go through all the same questions again, so.
Yeah, you should go pretty fast.
Yeah, hopefully. How many witnesses do you think you'll have? Okay. Okay.
If he decides to testify, so it's a decision.
Well, maybe we can get it done that day.
And the probation officer.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Robert Parker is on for a trial at noon on 1/3, and then he's going to be here as a new charge that arises out of the same facts that we've agreed we'll go ahead and try that day. There's not going to be any difference in the facts from it in the same case.
Correct, and I've been served on that, Your Honor.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus William E. Mann, case number CRA 22-815 at the Lawrence County Jail.
Recording has started.
Sir, are you William E. Mann?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mann, I'm Judge Capper. I'm doing your arraignment hearing is called today by teleconference, so you are actually appearing in the court on a television monitor, and everything we say is being recorded. So that brings me to your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to make statements, but if you do make statements, it's all being recorded, and if you admit something, it could be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bond and to make the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand those rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go over the charge with you. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to understand what's alleged. The state's filed a felonious assault charge against you, alleging that at Union Township on December the 26th, you knowingly caused serious physical harm to Garland W. Christian. That's a felony of the 2nd degree, and that carries a maximum penalty of 8 years in jail and a $15,000 fine. Do you understand the charge, Mr. Mann?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
No, sir. I'm an employee of Moment in the township.
How much are you paid there?
Well, I get paid once a month. I rent on $2,040.
Okay, so are you getting paid by the hour?
By the month. I'm on salary. Bob Mayo is one of the township trustees, Mark Bailey.
Yes, I know them both. Do you know what your gross income is per year? So you're getting about $24,000 net. What's your gross?
It's about $28,000 a year.
Do you have anybody you're supporting? Do you have children or anyone in your family that you're supporting with your income?
I've got a wife.
Do you have a wife?
Yes, sir.
Does she work?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and appoint lawyers. Are there any lawyers here still? and you came into the jail yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to appoint Luke Steyer. I texted 3 lawyers. Okay. He says he will be here. So Mr. Steyer is going to be your attorney. What's the state's position on bond?
That's for a $2,500 cash and surety bond. And a protection order, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500 cash or surety, so you can use a bail bondsman. Do you want to talk to a bail bondsman?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Sowards will get in touch with him and let him know that you want to talk to him. I'm also ordering that you stay away from, if you're out on bond, you cannot go around or contact Garland Christian. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that any problem for you to stay away from him?
No, sir.
Okay. Totally stay away, don't contact, don't text, don't get in touch in any way.
Okay.
I'm texting your lawyer right now to let him know. Okay, do you think you can post bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have, he's asking for a phone number where he can reach you.
My cell phone, on this thing, I got my phone number, 740-744-9171.
9171?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll let him know. You got to be in the court in Chesapeake on next Tuesday, 1 week from today, at 10 a.m. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You know where the court is?
Yeah, I go quite often.
Okay, well, you got to be here 10 a.m. next Tuesday, January 3rd. And your lawyer will be here. He's already confirmed he'll be here. And I'm going to give him your phone number. Do you have any questions?
No, sir, appreciate it.
Okay, and you have to stay away from the other person. You don't look like somebody that posts stuff on Facebook or social media, but you can't do that either. I want things just to calm down. I don't want there to be any other incidents. Okay, so you totally stay away from that person. Okay, January 3rd, your next hearing, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Judge Capper, I believe that's all we have today, sir.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Good.
State of Ohio versus Joseph Lately, case number CRB 17170, CRB 17132, CRB 1730.
All right. All right, Mr. Whaley, apparently, yeah, this is set for sentencing though, is that correct? 17-170, 17-133, 17-3. Okay. Do you have any payment or anything you're doing today? You did do some community service since the last hearing, it looks like. Well, that was maybe that was for November 23rd. Do you have anything you're doing today on your
I
case?
can make a payment today.
How much are you paying?
Probably like 20 or 10.
I'm sorry.
Like 20 or 10 at the most. I'm dealing with this whole water thing with my wife. So it's been
I
weird.
understand.
I should be done with that community service. I don't know. I came in this morning, said I wasn't on the docket. The lady in the office said they forgot to bump me up or whatever. But I've usually just been coming back to make payments. I should be done with all my community service.
Your Honor, I believe he still owes 5 hours, but he can check with me at the office and I can let him know for sure.
Okay, check in with Mr. Cooper. I'll set your next hearing for January 27th. 9 a.m. Well, actually, it's the sentencing, all right? You have a bond up now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 10 a.m. January 27th.
Yeah, I believe that that last 5 hours is done. I've been back twice since then, since I finished.
Go check in with the probation officer. Okay, court's adjourned.
Robert Parker has minutes for